Hello, everyone, and welcome back to The Redeemables, a podcast where we watch movies that scored below 50 on the Metacritic scale and decide to either redeem them or nail them to the cross. My name is Kenny. I'll be hosting today's, and today I am joined by my usual compadres, Duff.
Hello.
And BJ.
Hey.
All right, so for today's movie, I've decided to go for an action heist movie, a movie that I think pretty much everyone on the planet has probably seen this at some point. Yeah. It was kind of hard not to see it. And it was from a time where Nicolas Cage was the biggest action star in the world, pretty much, the year 2000. The movie is Gone in 60 Seconds.
Have to go old school. A day to shop, a day to prep. Surprise attack.
Nice. Little trick I learned in the car thief retirement home.
By the time the first car is reported stolen, your ship sets sail. We do this, we do it my way.
I was a sucker for a redhead.
You break it, you buy it, my friend. Okay, let's run.
Gone in 60 seconds.
Right.
All right. So, Gone in 60 Seconds is a 2000 American action heist film starring Nicolas Cage, Angelina Jolie, my boy Giovanni Ribisi, Christopher Eccleston, Robert Duvall, Vinnie Jones, Delroy Lindo, Chi McBride, and Will Patton. That is a stacked
everyone.
cast.
It's an ensemble.
That's a
It's starring
stacked
Nick
cast.
Cage and everyone.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not like the other movies where it's, Russell Crowe and a bunch of other
And a
people.
big Ford truck.
Yes. The film was directed by Dominic Sena, who I had not heard of. Anyone heard it? Yeah, you'd heard
California, baby.
of it? Yeah, okay.
With a K.
We'll get to that.
California,
Yeah.
okay.
It was written by Scott Rosenberg, and it was produced by Jerry Bruckheimer. Just on Jerry Bruckheimer, was there a better thing in like late 90s, early 2000s where a movie started and it's the highway of a Jerry Bruckheimer production, and you know you're about to watch a sick action movie? Yeah.
Something really slick. It's always slick action.
In this one, I think they actually then incorporated the highway into the intro of Gone in 60 Seconds. It kind of went reverse. Did you notice that?
No,
Yeah.
the little details probably.
Yeah, it was very cool. So the film is, and I'm not going to talk about this much at all because I've not seen it, I know nothing about it, but the film's actually a very loose remake of a 1974 film with the same title.
Yes.
So it's the same kind of premise, cars, etc., but it's very loose, the remake.
I had one guy at work when I mentioned that this was the movie we were doing tonight say this 1974 version or not, and I was like, no.
Yeah, no. Who's doing the 1974 version of Gone in 60
It's big
Seconds?
in his family, and he's told me he's never going to listen to the podcast, so we can say whatever we want about him.
Oh, cool. Open slather on him?
Yeah.
Yeah, he sounds like a dickhead. Oh, shit. All right, so
Moving on from the potato.
Wikipedia. You ready?
Yeah.
It's a bit of a long one.
Go it.
Car thief Kip Raines works with his gang to steal 50 high-end cars for Raymond Calitri, a British gangster in Long Beach, California. After stealing a Porsche 996 from a showroom, Kip unwittingly leads the police to his crew's warehouse, forcing the thieves to flee. Detectives Castlebeck and Drykoff impound the stolen cars and open an investigation. Atlee Jackson, Calitri's associate, reaches out to Kip's older brother Randall, Memphis Raines, a notorious but reformed car thief. Still going. Memphis meets with Calitri, who has kidnapped Kip and intends to kill him in a car crusher. Memphis agrees to steal the 50 cars within 72 hours, and Kip is released. Calitri warns that if the cars are not delivered on time, Kip will be killed. That's it.
That's it. That's a novel.
It's good, isn't it?
Yeah, I felt like I've read the movie.
Yeah, we're done.
Yeah, the Wikipedia, there was no like one sentence synopsis for this movie anywhere I looked on Wiki, and we want to keep it Wiki.
Yeah.
So I just had to basically
change the movie.
That's like that's a tenth of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it goes on from there. It gives you way more detail about the plot, yeah. You, after reading the full synopsis, you don't need to really watch the movie.
No.
Other than for the cars banging together, obviously. Can't do that on a bit of paper, can you?
Yeah, no.
So the other thing I had was the studio marketing tagline. Ice cold, hot wired.
Oh, I hate that.
Oh, yeah.
Hate it.
What's the ice cold bit?
Why is it ice cold?
I don't know.
I like the
They
ice
steal
water
cars
their
in the
veins.
snow? What are they doing?
Ice
here?
cold.
Ice cold.
I guess, is Memphis Rain to ice cold? I guess he is.
Yeah, it's not even cool. Like, they're not saying cool. They're just saying ice cold.
Ice cold, hot wired.
Nah.
It's not good.
Nah.
Nah. When I wrote that down, I was trying to think of a better one.
Cars banging together.
Cars banging. There we go.
You've already done it.
Yeah. Expensive cars banging together.
Yeah.
All right, you guys ready for some stats?
I love stats. I'm a stats
All right.
guy.
Gone in 60 Seconds was made with... What do you guys reckon? Throw it to you. We like doing the guessing game.
How much money?
Yeah.
100.
What do you reckon it cost?
90 million.
You've Googled it. It's exactly 90 million.
No, I haven't. I've not Googled.
Okay.
Friend.
Even a broken clock's right twice a day.
Is 90 mil the biggest budget we've had? I think it was. Rain of Fire was 60 odd.
yeah.
Battle LA was 70 maybe?
70 something, yeah.
Yeah.
And Semi-Pro.
70 probably
Semi-Pro
somehow.
filmed in a
weirdly 50
firehouse.
something. Yeah.
Yeah.
So 90 mil, that's a big old film.
That's
Big
hard.
coin.
That's that Bruckheimer money.
Yeah.
Bruckheimer money.
Bruckheimer.
This is 2000, so I reckon Nick would have got 20.
Yeah.
Angelina was on a high. She would have
Close
got
to it.
10.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
And
maybe
you-
a lot of money
you
to the
had that
cast.
ensemble, and it's like, yeah, they're getting a middle each.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So a lot of money on the cast.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of money on it.
And a lot of money on the stunts, I'd say.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
they're very
Stunts and
real.
whatnot.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
all in LA as well. It's actually
Yeah.
shot in LA,
Yeah.
which I would imagine is pretty expensive to just shut down a couple of streets. They use some...
Depends which
some,
streets you choose.
They use some like old kind of ports or something like that.
Oh,
and
yeah. That's an
warehousing.
old trick, isn't it?
Yeah,
Plenty of
yeah.
racing through sea containers at the ports.
Yeah.
Yeah. Easy to get approval.
Yeah, probably. They probably just leave it there just for movies to be shot. It actually looks very familiar to the port scene in, I don't know how long since you guys have watched Jack Reacher, the first one, but the whole finish of that movie is down in this kind of
Isn't
port
that
and dock.
construction yard, though?
Yeah, but it looks very similar.
Just add a bit of
Some
sand?
it.
and
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
just like, what? Yeah.
So anyway, yeah, so 90 mil it was. And box office?
Yeah, smashed it.
It did really well, I think. I reckon it doubled its money.
I'm going to say worldwide. Are we doing worldwide?
GBH, global box office.
Yeah, I want
No,
to go.
GBO, sorry. GBH is grievous bodily harm.
It's a drug people make in their bathtubs.
Oh, is it also that?
I'm
Which
going to go.
GBH is better? The bodily harm or the drug in the
The
bathroom?
one leads to the other, from my experience.
Mine.
Not that I'm experienced.
298.
Wow.
298? Okay, that's too huge if that's right.
Yeah, I hope it is.
I reckon double the money. I reckon somewhere around 180 to 190.
Okay, we're doing that now. Are we allowed a bracket?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
within
fine.
10%.
I say 150 to 350.
10%.
Okay.
Seemed fair.
I'll allow it. So it did 237 mil globally. It has a Metacritic score of 35.
That's not good.
Very low. Weirdly low.
Yeah.
Yeah. I honestly can't really make sense of it.
No.
Like I can get it with some movies, and I think I had this problem with Rain of Fire as well.
Yeah.
Where the actual reviews, when we started reading them, it's like, no, you haven't watched this movie.
Yeah. Or you went there to shit on it.
Yeah, it's very odd.
Yeah.
And it was kind of like the vast majority. It wasn't like there was a heap of 80 reviews and then a heap of 20 reviews and there was just more 20 reviews. It was actually just all the critics were kind of under 50. Most of them were sitting around 20, 25.
Wow.
There's a stack of 20, 25s,
Wow.
which I haven't, out of the movies I've chosen so far, I've not seen that.
Yeah.
So really a lot of distaste for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is odd to me. Yeah, but we've learnt so far that
Yeah.
the critics, yeah,
Most of them live in their own
generally
buttholes.
assholes. Speaking of critics, you want to hear some?
Of
No,
course.
we do.
There's some really good
It's
ones.
a highlight of the podcast,
Yeah.
I'm told by our top fans.
There is some really good ones here. So the first one is from the editor of Variety.
Oh,
Who-
the editor?
The editor apparently.
I've got this
wants
one, guys.
but doesn't put her or his name on it. But he's just the editor.
Oh.
Yeah. So the editor of Variety said, "Perfectly dreadful in every respect," and gave it 25. Perfectly dreadful. Yeah, rough.
So weird that the editor's doing it.
Yeah. the editor has a real problem with this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. Next one, we got J. Carr from the Boston Globe. The flat tire of summer movies.
I hate it when they do one of these attempted analogies.
Yeah.
What did he give it?
Yeah.
He gave it 25 as well.
Yeah. I give
Now-
his fucking review a 4.
Yeah.
I've got a particular problem with J. Carr's The Flat Tire of Summer Movies.
Yeah.
On the actual Boston Globe, so I click the link on Metacritic, it takes you to the Boston Globe.
Yeah.
They spelt it flat tire with an I. So they didn't even get their stupid little analogy right. They spelt tire wrong.
Oh.
It should be TY, shouldn't it?
Yeah, well,
Unless it's American.
American, they're always dumb shit.
Nah, it's got to be Y wherever you go.
Yeah, it's
Sure.
why wherever you go.
It should be.
Yeah,
if it's not, it should be.
Yeah, we're
going to start a petition.
Yeah. So if nothing else, J. Carr from the Boston Globe, you've started a petition.
Yeah, get the editor from Variety to edit your shit. He's real hands-on.
So the next one was from Lisa Schwarzbaum
Yeah.
from The Entertainer.
Right.
Eventually, the sensors jam and a mental lube job is in order. They're going hard on the car shit here, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a car. Oh,
it's a car.
It is, isn't it?
Car.
Oh, car,
I
right.
did not go to car.
Yeah,
I went somewhere else.
Yeah.
You need a shower after that.
Hey, that guy, his name is J. Carr as well. That's crazy. I
didn't even pick that up.
Can you sell us a cheap 12-volt inverter, mate?
Next one is Richard Corliss from Time. We like Time.
Yeah, time comes around.
Yeah.
Dick Collis.
Yeah. That's what he goes by. His friends call him Dickie Corliss.
Sticky.
Or Careless Dick.
Your eyebrows shot up and I knew a zinger was coming.
In this film, we learn that it takes 8,000 pounds of pressure to crush a car, but only one credited screenwriter to pound out such lame script.
Wow. Oh, Jesus. It's kind of naming names.
Yeah. He actually did. He did name the name. I just skipped over it because we'd already done Scott Rosenberg.
He's made it personal. Wow.
Have you got a fact about Scott? Because I do.
I've got plenty on Scott.
Okay,
Yeah,
we'll
yeah,
wait.
yeah, yeah.
We'll wait.
Hold up for Scotty. The next one, which I only included because it was a really humorous name. So it's a hyphenated first name, which you don't see often.
Okay.
Yeah, like a Katie Rose. But this one is Hazel Dawn.
Hazel Dawn.
Hazel Dawn.
That's my new band name.
Surname Dumpet. How did I not include that?
I'm a
Hazel Dawn
mid-40-year-old man who just giggles when
giggled
you
at
said
that.
dump it.
So Hazel Dawn Dumpet.
Oh, fuck, high school was fun for Hazel Dawn.
Yeah.
From she can fight.
yeah.
Change her name to Hazelnut.
She became a critic for a reason. She's from the LA Weekly, and she wrote, "Written in 60 seconds would be a more appropriate title." Instead of Gone in 60 seconds.
So she
gave it 30.
Oh, okay, yeah, okay.
Right.
What an idiot. Fuck you, Hazel Dawn.
Hazel Dawn Dumpet.
Hey, she's had a rough life. Be nice.
So that's what I had for the critic reviews. I thought there were some really good ones in there.
Yeah,
Well,
savage.
entertaining ones, yeah.
Savage. Savage.
Most of them actually went pretty hard on some sort of car analogy type
Yeah,
thing.
it's a lot of pun.
That's a
punnage.
trope.
Yeah, pun, that's the word I'm looking
Be
for.
better, critics.
Yeah.
Be better. That's a trope.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't do a dump it.
Don't do a dump. Don't be a ham.
Hopefully she features again. I'd like to make her a permanent fixture. If we do any other movies around that era, which I can assure you we will.
What does dump it say?
Her name is the single funniest thing that's been said on this podcast. 7 or 8 episodes or whatever it is.
All right, so now that stuff is out there in the ether, what we have now is the breakdown. Without giving away your redeeming or nailing, give me your kind of your feelings, your likes, your dislikes, all that sort of stuff.
This movie is utterly ridiculous.
Good.
And that's why it's good.
Yeah. Okay.
If you went into it as a critic from whichever irrelevant rags those people go for now, if they're still around. Like Time Magazine's still a thing, who knows?
They're just on Twitter now screaming at the sun.
So,
yeah.
If you went in there expecting high art or coherent plot, you might have come out calling it a flat tire or some other dumb analogy.
Yeah.
I'd seen this. I'm not a devotee of this movie, like some of people I know.
Are you looking at me?
No. Yes.
I know you're not, just before you go on, because quite a few episodes ago, and it still stays with me because it hurt a little bit, and someone brought up Gone in 60 Seconds. It probably was me. Yeah. And you went, I thought that was one of the Fast and Furious movies. Is that animated?
Oh, no.
and it just bothered me, and I've been hanging on to it.
Oh, I'm so
And I
glad
wanted to
because I
bring
was
it up now.
specifically trolling you. So I'm so glad.
Were you really?
Yeah.
Oh, you got me.
Well, not you specifically, but
Yeah.
just people.
Yeah.
It's my thing.
So sorry. You were saying.
Yeah, no, I hadn't
Utterly
seen it for a
ridiculous.
very, very long time. But I knew. Like, it's a movie about these people stealing a lot of cars in a short amount of time.
Yeah.
Looking down the cast, looking at the era that it was released, you know it's just going to be like, let's not overthink this. Let's have a bit of fun. And I managed to go into it with that mindset, and I wasn't too disappointed.
Good for you. You're learning from your
I'm
past
trying
mistakes.
so hard. I'm trying to be a better man.
Yeah. That's the only way you can go into this.
Yeah.
And you kind of know, like, I don't remember the marketing campaign for it. Obviously, it was extravagant. And I'm sure the trailer was pretty electric. I didn't rewatch the trailer before watching the movie, but there's a lot of shit in there you could put in a trailer.
Yeah.
You could even go as far as saying the whole movie is almost a long trailer.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just a lot of, like, action scene to action scene to action scene, and a lot of cars and all that sort of stuff. Exciting stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
Utterly ridiculous. What problems did you have with the plot? As you said, it was a.
Yeah,
is it just because it's so simple?
Oh, no, just there's plenty of holes in the plot.
Is there?
Yeah.
What? Name one?
Hold me.
Why would you want a car delivered in the condition that they were delivering these stolen,
Only one
very
of them.
expensive cars?
It was only Eleanor that was ridiculously ruined.
So just
And they turned that away?
Yeah, and he said no. It looks like a piece of shit. And it's
Yeah.
like 80,000. I'll give you 80,000, and you can take it out of the.
Yeah.
trunk.
So what other
Our
holes
mate,
you got?
our mate Kip drives a Porsche.
Call me
through
Putty
a
Paul
big
because
bloody
I'm
window,
putting up
right?
these holes.
Yeah.
buddy.
It's just plate glass.
Delivers it through after plate glass. He's got it airborne a couple of times. Done some crazy shit.
Yeah.
Enough that he led the cops to his gang.
Some mild suspension damage.
Look, he
I don't think criminals are retailers. Like
no, but what happened to the code? What happened to the honour amongst thieves? Like, he delivers the cops to them, and then they still save his life. Anyway, I reckon real criminals would be like, you know what, bro?
Okay, so you got a couple.
but
little
they're not criminals. They're his friends. They're like it's like me and Ken if we hijacked a sign.
Does that absolve you legally?
Yes.
Sweet.
Kind of like you led the cops to me, but that's okay.
all right,
You're
mate.
a good pal.
Yeah, you delivered.
Do you want to tell this story? Or?
Nah.
You delivered this
based-
really beat up Porsche. Thanks.
Based on a true story, that one.
Yeah.
I actually I liked how simple the plot was. Sometimes you just want that when it's going to have stunts as big as this and action as exciting as this. And I know I sound dumb saying that, but then the plot, it doesn't really need to be.
It didn't bother me. The holes in the plot didn't bother me because
okay.
I wasn't watching it for narrative.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I actually really loved the premise of it in its simplicity.
Yeah.
Because it was kind of original. I know it's a remake, but it's kind of original.
Yeah.
And I liked how it had the timer. So that the timer kind of creates that tension for you.
I was
All right,
wondering
cool.
what your
We've got
thoughts on the timer. As soon as numbers came up on the screen
Yeah.
denoting a time, I was like, "Oh, Ken's either going to love this or hate this."
Loved it.
If it had said 72 hours ago, Ken would have been really mad today.
Because then no, I don't want that.
Yeah.
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 But the time
counting,
is
so
like,
counting down is okay.
counting down's great.
Okay, cool.
Because it just you've got that. You're working towards that. You're as tense as the characters, in the movie.
Other not the guy that's probably going to die.
No, not him.
He was probably nervous.
So I really liked it, and I just the whole it's like a mission. They've got 50 cars. They've got, was it 4 days? Yeah.
4
50
days.
cars,
50
72
cars.
hours.
They didn't need 4 days either, by the way. They're like, "Oh no, 4 days."
We'll do it in one day. So
Yeah, and they're like, "Yeah, we'll do it
heat
one
on
day."
They don't want the heat, yeah. So 50 cars, 4 days, high stakes. Your brother's going to die.
Yeah.
Pull you out of retirement. The greatest car thief of all time, or in the
Of
Long
all
Beach
time.
area.
Yeah.
I just think I think it's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I don't have a problem
It's
with
a cool
it.
setup,
But
and it kind of you get all that in by about 15 minutes in, is it?
yeah, it's a really traditional type of
15,
setup.
20 minutes
Yeah.
in, I think you're getting that, and you're like, great.
Cool. Let's heist the fucking
Yeah.
cars now.
Yeah.
I'm ready to go. I want to heist.
It followed the right points, right? So it went like the expedition to set it up, the whole like bring the hero in,
Show the
then
mom.
get the
Do
gang
mom.
together.
Love-
the mom.
oh.
Yeah, get the gang
I
together.
want to
scene.
talk about getting the gang
Yeah,
together.
Then the build up to the big exciting. It was pretty formulaic in the way it was put
Yeah.
together. But again, I didn't mind it.
Yeah,
I
it's
didn't mind
good.
that.
The getting the gang together.
Yeah.
I think I've actually spoken about this before on the podcast, but I love a fucking montage of getting the team together.
Yeah.
Where they come out and one's
He's
on a
dead.
motorbike or one's doing this, and you kind of get a quick feel for all of them.
One's working in the kitchen and he takes his apron off right then and there.
Yeah,
and
that's
says,
perfect. I love that. Yeah, put it in all movies.
Yeah. Take this job and shove it.
Yeah, that's great. Huge fan of that. I thought it was done pretty well on this as well. It wasn't like
I thought it was great. Like the driving instructor.
yeah. That was cool.
Yeah, that was great. Loved it.
It wasn't too over the top. Like, I don't think there was actually the pulling the apron off. Like, it wasn't too cliche.
No.
Yeah. The Angelina Jolie sliding out from under the car. Oh,
Yeah.
cool. She's a mechanic and she knows cars. Yeah. Yeah, it's cool. Little 1 minute intro to all the characters. And they're a good team.
Oh, that's the best.
As in, they're an enjoyable team.
Yeah.
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 Like, each character kind of brought something new. And then when the other young guys, like Kip and all his mates,
Yeah.
they're a little weaker as characters.
A couple of them a little bit annoying, frankly.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
But the mainstays, the older boys,
Yeah.
and Angelina,
Yeah.
I thought they were great characters.
Nothing to prove, that's why.
Yeah.
Nothing to prove.
Yeah. Very, very likable and enjoyable to watch throughout. What do you reckon, Duff?
I've seen this movie 1,000 times.
1,000?
No, I'm going 15 times. Okay, but I know I've watched
Still
it
a lot.
I reckon I've watched it in the past year. I think I've watched it, including yesterday, 3 times. I think. So I knew this movie. I know what it is. I like.
Wait, you've watched it 15 times or 3 times?
3 times this year.
Oh,
15
sorry.
times career-wise.
Career-wise.
Career 15.
Career,
We're talking season or career stats?
So yeah, and I was feeling very sick while I rewatch it, so I didn't enjoy it as much as I normally do. But I know I do love it when I watch it in a better state of mind, I think.
Okay,
So yeah, I loved it. Always gonna love it.
cool.
It's one of my top movies, but it's not in Nicolas Cage's top 3 action movies.
No, that's fair. That's fine.
It's an enjoyable movie. It's a little bit of fun. If you're after something more serious, watch Fast and the Furious.
You want something with depth.
Just on that, how do you compare this? Are you a Fast and Furious guy, BJ? I don't know where your stance on that is. No. Have you seen any of them?
Yeah, I have. I'm not against them.
Yeah,
I
okay.
didn't like Fast and Furious till The Rock was on it.
Yeah.
And then I loved it.
Oh, see, I'm the reverse. So I love the first 5, then number 5's
hated
the
it.
pinnacle of action films, and then it goes downhill from
In
me.
Brazil.
That's the best. Number
Yeah.
5's easily the best. But then they go downhill from there because they start to get over the top. They
The
stop
last
doing
one's a
the
bit ridiculous.
Yeah, they get a bit
Because The
silly.
Rock's not in it as well. So
Okay.
Right.
But Hobbs and Shaw, better than 90% of all Fast and Furious.
All right, so let's say Gone in 60 Seconds versus Fast and Furious. It's probably most comparable to number 5, I'd say.
The Brazil one?
Yeah,
Well, that one.
similar action.
That wins hands down.
Do you remember
man.
that one? They dragged the vault behind the cars
Oh, is
and
that the one?
downtown.
Yeah.
No, that's a team. That's
Yeah.
a team montage right there.
Yeah, bringing together as a team.
yeah.
So it's kind of similar in a way.
Yeah.
They're just stealing it's a heist movie.
Yeah.
They're just stealing a bank vault instead of 50 cars in 4 days. It's
robber-
almost the same movie.
Robbing a country, not an English chap.
So how would you compare them? Or you
Off the top of my
haven't
head,
seen-
without seeing
Yeah.
that too recently,
Yeah.
I think I enjoyed Fast and Furious more.
Yeah.
It's just more my style, I think.
Yeah, okay. A little bit different in tone, probably.
Yeah, the tone, that's the thing, yeah.
The Fast Five's probably got a bit of an advantage because they've had 4 movies prior to that to kind of build up the characters and everything.
Yeah.
Whereas this is just you got to learn everything in 15 minutes. So they definitely have that advantage. But just as a movie and like a cool action movie, very comparable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a time difference as well. Like,
Fast Five's a bit bigger, I suppose.
Yeah.
In terms of scale.
Yeah.
yeah, it's a whole country.
Yeah. Nice. I also wanted to special mention our boy, and I want to call him a friend of the pod now.
Ooh.
Delroy Lindo.
Yeah, man.
It's been brought up a couple of times. Domino, you got brought up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got it on my notes here. Delroy and my favourite actor,
Yes.
Timmy Oliphant,
I knew you were going to talk about Timmy.
dominate this movie. For me,
Does Timmy?
They shut up.
Okay.
Like, I won't have a bad word said about Timmy.
Wow. No, I love Tim.
Yeah, his wife is mean.
This
Don't
is
ever
early
mention
on.
My wife again.
This is early Tim.
This is Scream Tim. So
Okay.
Scream young Timmy.
Yep.
And yeah, I just think these two are my MVPs for the whole thing, which is weird because you're not supposed to go for the cops at all. You're supposed to be going for the highs. Yeah, get it. Save his brother. Not me. I'm a justice stunt, sir.
I'm keen to talk about that.
Yeah.
Are you meant to go for the cops or not? Because it's a good point because it is different to most other like heist movies.
The cops
Well,
are dirty and dicks. This
Yeah,
guy's just
you're meant to hate the cops.
Delroy's on point. He's just law, baby.
He seems like
He's a good lawman.
a good guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's a likable character. You're meant to like him.
Yeah, and you would not mess with him.
Yeah. So by the end of this, if the kind of way they did it, if Delroy and Timothy ended up actually, catching them before they stole the cars or whatever, and they all end up in jail, you'd probably be like, It's not a bad outcome. I mean, a few criminals off the street. You know what I mean?
A few rich people's cars saved.
Kip doesn't die. Kip gets put in jail instead.
Gets murdered in prison.
Gets murdered in prison.
He would be
yeah.
bad in prison. He'd stuff up straight away.
He's got the prison haircut already. The slick back.
He just makes so many silly mistakes.
Yeah.
So and also, did you see Delroy? Apparently, he went a bit method.
Yeah,
filming.
I did read this.
Yeah, he insisted on having his badge and gun on him at all times.
Very cool.
And he hanged out with Grand Theft Auto detectives. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's cool.
You know what Timmy did? Gelled his hair and looked fucking ridiculously good.
You know what? Like you just said, how he hung out with Grand Theft Auto or what's it called? Yeah, that's it.
Grand Theft.
Yeah. Detectives in the lead up to this to kind of get into the zone or whatever. Really necessary? No.
Yeah.
Like, can you not just read your lines and go, all right, cool?
It wasn't. It's for the lingo, so his lingo sounds more natural.
Yeah, but he's just going to read the scripts. Like, the writer should be in charge of the fucking lingo.
Well, these critics, they didn't do a very good job.
When you're taking your gun home and a police badge and just insisting that it's part
America.
of it,
That's everyone, yeah.
like a few things after that are going to seem ridiculous, right? You're like,
yeah.
You're like, I'm taking the gun and the badge home. You're like, righto. Cool.
Check if it's got blanks. Yeah, we don't want another situation.
Timmy, what are you bringing home? The chick from catering.
Yeah.
Love Timmy.
I'm a massive Timothy Olyphant guy. Yeah, he really gets me. But I just felt like in this movie, he never quite got his time to shine. He had a couple of cool lines. The one after the car goes, hits the wall, or goes through the wall, and he walks up and what does he say?
Are you okay? You just went through that.
Are you sure? You just went through a wall.
Yeah.
That was.
Is he okay?
How you doing? Are you all right? Are you okay? Just sit back. You all right?
I think so.
Are you sure? Because you just went through a wall.
Probably my favourite line.
It's a good line.
Favourite line for me was,
he really landed it as well.
He delivered it perfectly, yeah.
It's like, God damn, this guy can drive. Yeah. Oh, it's probably mostly the car.
yeah, he was. Yeah,
I think he needed it before, like, with Delroy's firm, like, very serious, I'm going to catch these motherfuckers.
Yeah, no, it worked. It worked.
It
It's just Timothy Oliphant, like, he's the main guy in shit now. Like, and can carry anything just about. Yeah. Very charismatic.
He really
just didn't get a huge opportunity in this. Did you remember he was in it? Did you remember he was in it?
Yeah.
Duff reminded me last week.
Okay,
yeah,
right.
Yeah,
but you probably wouldn't have if you watched it.
No. But I like him, and when he came up, I know who he is, and I would have been happy to see him. And I've been that's old mate Timmy.
Yeah, he's
I
good.
love Timmy.
Yeah, I love the slick back hair too.
Friend of the pod. Yeah. And also,
yes.
Can I mention,
please,
massive friend of the pod, Michael Pena's in this.
Yeah.
Oh shit, he is. Yeah, I didn't even pick that up.
He's a Mexican that pulls them up playing with dog poo.
There you go.
Crazy.
Can I say this?
Friend of the pod. A couple of friends of the pod.
Yeah.
Few friends.
Hey guys,
it's like a gang of friends.
I wanted to discuss the cars. I'm not a car guy at all, but I really liked all the cars in this. I thought they were cool and like a nice mix of cars. It wasn't just all like, oh, here's the latest Mercedes sports car or whatever. Yeah, that's how much little I know about cars. I'm calling it a Mercedes sports car.
What's a nice car?
Mercedes like
McLaren F1. McLaren F1 or a Ferrari or whatever. It was those things were in it, but there was also like a pickup truck, and then there was obviously Eleanor, the Shelby. What is it, a Mustang or whatever?
I don't think the McLaren F1 was in it. I think it was too hard to get.
Yes, I did read that actually. Sorry, but it
was on the list.
There were those kind of exotic sports cars, and they could have easily just gone with that the whole way through. There was a real good mix, and the actual. I think we have to talk about it. The stunts throughout the movie.
Yeah.
Fucking awesome.
Yeah.
And like real stunts.
Yep.
They're fucking banging cars together. Those cars are flying. Nah, I love it, man. Yeah. Because you don't get that anymore. Yeah. You don't get it. If you watch this is what I was talking about when I don't really like the new Fast movies as much as the old Fast movies. The new Fast movies, it's all CGI. As in, cars aren't flipping anymore. They're just flipping on the computer screens and the guys superimpose it and it looks amazing and it, like,
OH&S has ruined every fun part of working anywhere.
Well, not... yeah, they have. Tom Cruise would disagree because he's about to do the biggest stunt he's ever done.
But his insurance is like 150 million.
He's also immortal.
Yeah. But it's a lost art because I'm imagining now we've got to the point of I assume this is what it is. We've got to the point of technology now where it's way cheaper and safer just to let the nerds in the lab create the action, or the stunts, rather than actually, let's build a fucking replica bridge, let's have 9 cars at that end, let's put a driver in each one of them, let's put roll cages in them, and let's just bang them together. Woo!
Well, they're banging together.
We're probably going to need him in a
shit. No, but I love it, man. I love stunts in movies. Yeah. So the big action movies of the past, I never watch special features on DVDs because I don't like to know, behind the lens. So it kind of ruins it for me a bit. I can't get into the movie as much if I know all that shit. But with these types of action movies where they actually do the stunts, I love watching it.
Yeah,
I love watching it recreated and see how
it all
works.
And
I've seen the special feature. Not this time around. Yeah, it is. Yeah, and they show a couple of making of scenes.
Couldn't grab it out of your attic for me?
I could if you want. I've definitely got it on Blu-ray.
They're all very trained drivers, like the actual actors. Well, Nicolas Cage is a fucking massive.
Yeah, so he learnt for this. He went to 3 different stunt driving schools.
And everyone else has gone to at least a school for Ocean's 11 and shit like that.
So
Scott King.
Man, there's something beautiful about it.
It's the noise as well.
Of the cars,
forget about the noise a car makes when it hits another car.
Yeah.
Because when you hear it...
Did you watch this on a decent... Have you guys got a sound bar or surround sound or whatever?
Yeah. No, do you know anyone who can hook me up?
No, I don't actually.
No.
Okay.
Sold out everywhere.
Yeah, I thought the sound was good. The stunts, you got to love them.
Sounds very cool.
Yeah, the sound's great.
Yeah,
it would have been a great cinematic experience back in the day.
Shit, yeah.
With that Dolby.
Really would have been. Hence the 237 mil at the cinema.
Yeah.
Do you reckon to get a figure in the hundreds of mil, that means people saw it more than once for the most part, right? Like you would think it's a shit ton of people. They reckon Avatar is grossed so much because people kept going back and back and back.
I didn't know that.
There must be a certain point where
some people just
have maxed out the eyeballs and you need them to keep coming back.
To keep going. Does it also, I guess it...
I don't think you go back for this one.
You wouldn't go see it twice in the cinema?
Nah. I'll get it on your release.
It probably didn't have enough heart to bring you back. It wasn't enough. It was definitely not an emotional attachment to this movie.
Yeah.
It's more just, this is cool as shit to watch.
Yeah, but that's why I think, like, in year 2000, right?
Yeah.
The people would have been like, their home cinema setup is probably similar to mine. Probably better than mine.
That's a good point.
And they would have been like, if I want this full experience again...
I don't think you could even get a plasma in year 2000. I think it was
in the year 2000.
It was a 68 centimetre flat screen glass tube TV.
If you were made of money.
Yeah. I had one.
Like a big bucks can.
My dad had one, so I had one.
Fucking Richie Rimmer.
Hey, I picked up golf balls on a golf course every day after school for 2 years so I could buy a bigger TV than my parents, and I had it in my bedroom when I was 15. My brothers used to come into my room to watch movies.
It was soul of the earth.
There you go.
That.
I worked hard for that. Yeah. And then I rubbed it in their faces. Very good. So before we go into, unless anyone had anything else, general discussion points.
Did you notice that it was an hour and a half until the first real car chase?
It's a heist movie.
Was it?
Yeah, there was obviously the opening
little bits
scenes,
and pieces. Yeah, okay.
But until there was actually like a legit
full-on car chase.
It built up. For
I didn't notice. That's cool.
Yeah, which I thought was actually pretty good.
Because there was a lot of fast car driving.
Yes,
but not chases.
The full chase, the big chase, the sort of crescendo.
Shit,
took an hour and a half.
Because if you had asked me, I would have said, "Oh, it's a movie full of car chases."
Yeah, same. I was like, and then I realised,
I watched it literally yesterday.
So after the first few, the Porsche driving through the window and whatnot, there was you're really looking at about an hour between any cars going bang into each other.
Okay. There's a bit of banging of cars.
There's a little bit, but not real.
No.
Which is also probably one of the reasons why I enjoyed it a little bit more, because I'm not a car chase guy. Car chases and fight scenes for me, I fall in the same category. I get bored really quickly unless you're doing something different.
Yeah.
And there's only so much different you can do.
Yeah.
Right?
I don't think it's so much different.
I think I'm much the same.
Yeah.
I think it has to be done right.
Yeah.
I think it's different sometimes doesn't work, but right. If it's done right, you'll love it.
Different might be dragging a Volt behind 2 cars through Brazil.
The Italian job, tiny little cars.
Okay, cool. Yeah, you'd watch that.
It's new, but it's done right. It's
yeah,
done
true. Yeah, so just it needs a little point of difference for me to watch it for more. Like the car chase went for another half an hour after that. Yeah. Like it was all car chase after that. But
how'd you feel about that? You okay with
that?
There
was lots of different cars, and there was the whole cat and mouse thing going
stunts
on. They've been putting there was the flying Eleanor. So I thought that was interesting. The sex scene was weird.
It's like they didn't want to do it.
Yeah, but there's other people doing it, and then they were like, oh.
No, not as in the character. Sorry, as in as in the people making the movie. Like, we don't really want to do it. Like, are you forcing us? And the studio's like, yeah, just get him in there. Just get him making out
And
the
then
car or
where
something.
she's got the gear stick between her legs.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
was.
This is a man's movie. We're going to need one nip.
Yeah,
That's what they did.
It was like one of only 12 words Angelina Jolie got to say throughout the whole film. Cause
She didn't have a lot of dialogue, did she?
I read that the part was written specifically for her, and I
I
was
just
going to
hate
make
her voice.
I was going to make a quip about it being written in 60 seconds. Until the critics, because they didn't give her a lot for a specifically written part. They didn't give her a lot to do.
Yeah, weird.
She looks amazing, other than the hair, but yeah. So that
I like that.
Found
I like the dreads.
Did you?
Yeah, I did. Yeah,
It's okay. And was she wearing contacts in her eyes because she was incredibly blue-eyed?
yeah, sure.
Yeah, it was freaking me out. But yeah, I thought that the romantic subplot was not the strongest part, and then it was the kind of movie
unnecessary.
where yeah, just like it was
Either
so
do it or
clunky.
don't.
Yeah. I also wanted to mention that everybody looks cool when they're walking away from an exploding car. That's a scene that should be in every
I'm not sure I would, but
No,
yeah,
you would.
Yeah,
You would. I mean,
Okay,
the
thank
focus
you.
would probably be the explosion. To be fair.
I'm blurred out and the explosion's in
really
focus.
catches the eye when the car goes bang. But if you can walk away coolly from something that's about to explode,
Yeah.
you're going to look shit hot on screen.
Cool.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Noted. Before we go into the director and cast, etc., I did want to propose something. I did want to briefly mention Nick Cage's action run here, and it is phenomenal.
Phenomenal.
So I'll just get it. 1 sec. Sorry, guys.
I can
Who's that
give you the
fucking
dates.
guy?
I can give you the dates.
Have you got them in order?
Yeah, I got them.
All right, go. Hit me.
So
We
leaving
all know
Las-
which one it is. There's
leaving
4,
Las
right?
Vegas, right?
No. Give me the
I'm
4.
gonna read his run because I'll read the run and then I'll tell you.
Don't
which
fight,
ones.
guys.
Okay.
All right. So leaving Las Vegas was in '95.
Yep.
So that set him up. That
Quite a performance.
That got his Oscar, and Nick Cage has gone, okay, let's try something else.
Not a fun movie.
Not a fun movie. Then bang.
It's a must see though.
It's great.
You have to watch it. Yeah.
And these are the 3 movies. The Rock was in '96. Con Air was in '97.
Yeah.
And the same year, Face Off, '97.
Yep.
And then after that, he went romantic comedy with City of Angels. And then he did the very underrated Snake Eyes in
I don't
'98.
think it was City of Angels. It wasn't a rom com.
City of Angels, yeah, it was with Meg
Was it?
Ryan. Yeah, he
I don't think it was a rom com. Yeah, it was pretty heavy.
He dies, and then she likes a ghost, and then he comes back alive, and she's dead.
I don't think it's
Spoiler alert.
comedy though. It's just a rom
Sounds
drama.
hilarious.
It's a rom drama. I definitely cried through it, and I haven't cried through a lot of rom coms.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Anyway,
Okay,
sorry.
it's not
What was
a-
the song for City of Angel again? It was was it the Goo Goo Dolls' Iris? I'd give up forever.
Yeah, that's it.
That was the song from City
That's
of
why
Angels.
you cried.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway.
Then it's very underrated Snake Eyes.
Yeah.
Then it's 8 mil, and then this one's in 2000.
Oh,
But
so
the
he had Snake Eyes and 8 mil in between.
Yeah. So
Okay.
the shining light in this is The Rock, Con Air, and Face Off in
Boom.
2
Yeah.
years.
Yeah, that's
That's
huge.
2 years of work.
It's an insane run.
And that is 3 of the best.
then he goes
Action.
Snake Eyes and 8 mil a little grimier.
Yeah.
And they're
Snake
not as,
Eyes was a big budget movie.
It
just
was,
flopped.
but it
Yeah,
flopped.
that was a
Yeah,
flop
and
time.
it wasn't like a blockbuster action movie.
No,
it didn't.
it was-
Some of it just didn't work that well.
Yeah. It
was just
and it
a-
had fucking David Caruso in it, didn't it?
Discon-
I think it did, didn't it?
Don't do David Caruso.
Oh, does anyone?
Oh man, you're gonna love the Kiss of Death pod.
Oh, really? We're doing that?
Oh, it's on the list.
You're a Caruso guy.
I'm not against him.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
I'm more of a NCIS.
Wait, is he in that, or is he
Hates
in
pain and love Caruso.
CSI?
I don't even know who you are anymore.
I'm more
I
of a.
think it's CSI Miami,
CSI Miami.
The
Is
gig,
it?
the gig is up. I don't know my.
or is it Criminal
my
Minds?
crime bureau?
No, it might be Law and Order. I don't know
it's
which
The
one it
Mentalist?
is.
No, it's CSI Miami.
Okay.
Okay, glad we sorted that out.
I just wanted the conversation.
All right.
to stop.
So,
So did
what,
everyone listening.
thank you for breaking that down for us.
Yeah, I
Because
just think it's very, very
the 4,
interesting.
and I'm happy to be argued here on this, but the 4, I think his big 4, I call it his big 4, is Face Off, The Rock, Con Air, and Gone in 60 Seconds.
Gone in 60 Seconds isn't in my top 4 of Nicolas Cage.
Not his top 4, I'm talking his big 4 action movies.
so am I.
Okay, what's your 4th?
I've just got a massive. It will appear on the pod, which Wind Talkers for me. I love Wind Talkers.
Oh, okay, yeah, no, that's
War
I'm
movie,
not
baby.
a fan at all.
Yeah.
That felt like a tally movie to me.
Yeah, I love a tally movie.
Yeah, I'm sensing that.
Right.
Okay,
I wasn't
no, that's
expecting
fine.
you to say that movie.
Yeah, that's
I love
caught me by
Wind Talkers.
surprise. I forgot it
Wind
existed.
Talkers is a bit different for me because me and my dad watched it and we watched
Yeah.
it a few times.
You love a
together.
war movie.
And I love a war movie.
do love a
and
war movie.
We used to have a tradition on Christmas Eve. We watch action movies and get hammered drunk.
Yeah.
And Windtalkers was one of them, so I just love it.
You'd revisit it all the time. Windtalkers.
Revisit
Maybe
it.
I have to give it another chance.
Give it another go.
Okay, I will.
Yeah.
You know what? I
2
promise you I
words.
will.
And the moral of the
Christian
story is...
Slater.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Is he in that? I don't
Yes.
remember him. All I remember is the two, like Nicolas Cage and then the main guy.
The Adam Peach, one of the worst actors of our generation.
Yeah, maybe that's what ruined the movie for me.
it
He was
does.
bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. BJ, big 4 for Nick?
I would probably... I think you're correct. I can't argue with yours in terms of
Cool.
like mass appeal. They're not my favourites.
All right, so I'm right, Duff's wrong? Is that
yeah,
what?
I guess.
Yeah, cool.
Let's
Great,
have the
thanks.
pod.
That's all.
That's
all I needed to hear. We can move
completely
on.
subjective.
So,
In fact, jump on social medias and tell us your big 4.
from Nick Cage.
Yeah, because this is
Yeah.
the argument that's going to go to the end of time, dear friend. So
I would love it. So what I wanted to propose is, let's say Nicolas Cage, and whatever your big 4 Nick Cage is, that's fine.
Yeah.
Is there a better big 4 from another action star?
Yes.
Go.
straight off the bat,
Go.
you'd have to look at 90s.
I'll tell you why you're wrong.
90
Go.
stars, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Commando, Predator, Red Heat, all that stuff.
No, give me 4.
Terminator.
Give me his 4.
Terminator 2. Just in that, Arnold Schwarzenegger, right? Predator,
Yes.
Terminator.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like I need time to Last Act. No, not Last
No,
Act.
yuck.
True Lies.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, it's just Arnold Schwarzenegger's.
So that's
body
what. That's his 4 then. What'd
Yeah.
you say? Commando,
Commando,
Predator,
Terminator,
Terminator.
Terminator 2. Goddamn.
Terminator 2.
Yeah.
And then
Okay.
then 6 others that are
Yeah.
probably better than Gone in 60 Seconds. But are they better than The Rock?
Exactly.
Con Air.
All right.
Face Off?
So
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
cool. No, that's good because Arnie's definitely right. He's definitely got to be one of them. But
The Rock is another one.
hard with Arnie because he did all his best action work, in my opinion. I know we're going to cop shit on the Instagram for this, but in my opinion, Arnie did all his best work like late 80s, early 90s. That was his peak, right? And action movies were very different then. Like Commando can't be compared with The Rock. Like it can't be.
No.
80s action movies are very silly. They're fucking awesome.
John,
I watch Commando a lot.
I'll be waiting, John.
I'll be waiting, John.
You promised to kill me last. I lied.
The creepy Alyssa Milano intro credits. So bad, sharing the ice cream. Anyway, BJ, what do you got?
Well,
so you're
I
going
would-
Arnie?
He's
I've
still
got-
on the spot?
I've got 1,000, man. Bill Paxton.
Bill
not the main
Oh, he's not the main guy, so it
Yeah.
doesn't count. But he was in some massive...
Terminator,
yeah.
Aliens.
yeah.
My first thought
That's
was...
right, he was in the first Terminator, wasn't he? Very briefly, yeah. Go.
My first thought was Arnie also.
Yeah.
Because I think you can't go past Terminator, Predator. I would also put in The Running Man.
Ah,
Yeah.
The Running Man.
I love
yeah.
that.
For
And
one-liners,
Total
yeah.
Recall.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Eraser? No, just kidding.
I'm listening.
love
I would have
Eraser,
also
bro.
accepted The Sixth Day.
But
And I would have also
They cloned the
accepted...
wrong man. I am the dad. They cloned the wrong man.
I would have also accepted Sabotage.
Sabotage
Yeah.
is gritty. I would love to see the director's cut.
Sorry.
But I've got a curveball. I don't know if this is going to qualify. just to interject.
I
I don't know
talk
if this counts. You'll have to. I'll need a ruling. What about Harrison Ford?
Yes.
So the Star Wars franchise.
Not action movies.
Okay, I would have thought there was some action. In it.
Sci-fi.
Air Force One.
Oh, I suppose Total Recall, yeah.
Okay, so Indiana Jones.
Yep.
No.
Adventure
movie.
Yeah, no, okay, yeah.
It's not action.
Harrison Ford, I'm listening.
Yeah.
I'm interested.
What about also like the Patriot Games and Fugitive?
Patriot Games, Clear and Present Danger, they're
Thrillers.
a bit
Air Force One.
slow for action movies.
Air Force One. That's
Force
a film.
One's cool.
Now we're talking.
Yeah.
Now
Yeah.
we're getting somewhere, and I love it.
Harrison Ford's a good one. If you did want to include Star Wars as action movies,
Yeah.
which you could, the
I'd be
ones
willing
that-
to compromise and say that's one role.
Okay,
we're
so
not
you go Star
otherwise
Wars.
the top there'd be 3 Star Wars movies.
All right, so
and
you go
Indiana
Han
Jones.
Solo.
Yeah,
Indiana
I'll go
Jones.
Indiana
Yeah.
Jones. I think probably Richard. What's his name? He plays in The Fugitive. Go
Oh shit, yeah, Richard something.
Richard Kimball.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, and then I'm kind of running out. Other than probably Air Force One.
The President.
Yeah, Force One's a good one.
Yeah.
Couldn't really
All I can think of is 90s movies. Sylvester Stallone, he did it.
Yeah.
Van Damme, they've done it.
Yeah.
I need more time to tell you what they've done.
This is why I personally think it might actually be Nicolas Cage. Because of the quality, particularly the first 3, Gone in 60 Seconds being the 4th. But The Rock, Face Off, and Con Air
2 years.
in 2 years, and we had never seen anything like that.
Yeah.
Not on that scale. where they were just like, they're pure action movies, but where they've actually got like a huge budget, a huge concept, and Nicolas Cage dominates those movies. Even in The Rock, where he's like the nerdy, what's his name?
When go home and fuck the prom queen.
Even in The Rock, he's still awesome in that. And he's not an action star in that.
Yeah.
He's not the MVP.
Yeah. And then that's when they went, oh shit, this guy can be an action star.
Yeah.
Playing the dorky science guy.
I think.
And then Face Off and Con Air are fucking phenomenal movies.
I think his mecca is Con Air.
Yeah.
Yes.
The Rock, Sean Connery outshines him there.
It's
Face Off, I hate to say it, but goddamn what a rush. John Travolta,
don't
I
you
think,
dare.
outshines him there as well.
Don't you
I
dare.
hate that movie.
Yeah.
Do
but
ya?
I
Con
don't
Air,
like it, yeah.
Con Air is Nicolas Cage's, and it is.
So
It's
the only other one I had for the actual person that I reckon has something to say about this, Keanu Reeves.
Yeah, actually, great call. Yeah. Speed.
John Wick 1, 2, and
Matrix,
3.
John Wick.
Yeah. So
Speed.
Matrix is action, but Star Wars we're debating. See, the listeners are confused.
No, for me, Matrix is sci-fi.
And
It's more
yeah,
of a
but
thriller.
how long since you've watched the original Star Wars films?
so it's got to
Not
be
very
karate,
actiony.
not weapons. Is that?
Yeah.
You know how Ken feels about fucking lasers? Go back to the battle.
Sorry to interject there with my protest, but carry on.
No, so I reckon Nicolas Cage has got something here. He can stand on top of that mount. He could be on the Mount Rushmore.
Yep.
If you had Nicolas
yeah.
Cage, Arnie, no
Yep.
problem at all.
Yep.
Harrison Ford's a good one.
Yep.
And then take your pick between Keanu Reeves, Van Damme, Stallone. Those guys are all roundabouts. But once again, like different sort of action
Like
movies
Wesley
for Van
Snipes as
Damme.
well?
Yeah,
Snipes,
he had
yeah.
a lot. Yeah.
Art of War.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. There's something about there. I'll keep saying it. There is something about those three: The Rock, Con Air, and Face Off. Though.
Yeah, you're right. They were
Yeah.
huge, pure action films.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe the best era for me, probably the best action era was that from like 95 through to 2005.
Just because of those. Oh, yeah.
Not just because of those
Okay.
movies, but that's when they were making. That's when action movies were the
I
big
think that's
ticket
when
movies.
Michael Bay just went, all right, I know how to make money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This
Yeah.
does feel Michael Bay again. I know we bring him up all the time.
Michael Bay's
but-
like, look at the scenery.
Yeah.
I'm going to fucking blow it up.
everyone
Just
started.
Megan Fox running in slow motion.
Yeah.
Yeah, everyone started mimicking Michael Bay. I think by this point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where they went, oh shit, he's onto something.
But just, I think to your point, in the mid '90s, I feel like the movies were smart enough but dumb enough. Like they
Yep.
weren't. They were sort of self-aware
Yep.
enough to be a little bit dumb.
You know what one kind of started it all? And once again, I mean, argue it if you want. Bad Boys, the first one,
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
and that was Michael Bay.
Yeah.
And that was a new era of action film.
Yeah.
That took over from the late 80s, early 90s, like kind of silly action, like your Rambos and that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
What about Lethal Weapon?
Huge Rambo guy.
Yeah, actually,
Lethal
Lethal Weapon's a
Weapon
good
for
call.
me.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah, okay.
Yeah.
They went,
What-
oh my God,
What was that,
a
late
buddy
80s?
cop movie.
Yeah.
Evolved into.
There is a darkness to Lethal Weapon, though.
Yeah, face.
Yeah, definitely.
And not just because of what's happened to
Yeah.
them.
Yeah.
A lot of dark.
He's coming back.
Yeah.
Yeah, potentially. You made that
Yeah.
Hurricane movie.
Don't rush.
So yeah, I'll move on to the director, writer, etc. now. So director Dominic Sena, I hadn't actually heard the name before. You were saying you had, Duff?
Yeah, it's California, man. It's one of my favourite movies
good
when I was a
flick.
young kid.
Good flick. Juliette Lewis, yeah?
Juliette Lewis.
Love Juliette Lewis.
Brad Pitt.
Who else?
David Duchovny.
David Duchovny.
What a dreamboat.
So he did that in '93, and then he basically just does film clips. He's a music video guy for some pretty big stars like Janet Jackson, a couple of other. I didn't write down any of the other ones, but basically 80s and 90s stars, and he's got a truckload of them.
The Black Cat film.
He's
clip?
done. I reckon he's done 100. Yeah, I think that was in there actually.
Yeah, that's the only Janet Jackson.
I think
he's done for me lately. That's
Nothing.
That's all the Janet fans out there.
Absolutely
You're welcome.
nothing. So yeah, he's basically did 2 decades of film clips when they were big.
Yeah.
Then in year 2000 he does this. So nothing between 93 and 2000.
Yeah,
so
wow.
California than this.
Yeah.
His next movie, Swordfish.
Oh, that's a piece of shit. that
Yeah,
movie.
but a piece of shit made to look like a beautiful whatever chocolate cake.
I love Swordfish.
Do ya?
Yeah.
I loved it.
Yeah.
I rewatched it, would have been, I don't know, a couple of weeks back, a couple of months, and yeah, it's a pile of shit. But I was
Yeah,
so
it had a game-changing explosion scene in it with the ball bearings.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
at the
yeah.
start of every DVD you've ever seen because they use it to show you Dolby
great,
Digital or
man.
whatever. Yeah,
So
cool explosion.
that
scene.
will come up.
And it had Halle Berry.
Yeah, it had
in
Halle
it,
Berry,
doing
Hugh
something.
Jackman.
I'm not sure. I can't remember.
Just being sexy, but same with Hugh Jackman. But that movie will come up a little bit when I discuss some of my choices coming up because of the era that it was released in.
All right,
Interesting era for movies, yeah.
he did the Whiteout in 2000 or just Whiteout. I haven't seen it.
Kate
With
Beckinsale.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen
Yeah.
it.
What is it? A horror?
Yeah, it's like an action.
I think it's a thriller. It's like
Is it okay?
No, not really.
it's like the
Don't bother?
endless days and one of those.
Oh, like in
type
Alaska
movies.
type thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Very good. And then he did Season of the Witch, so he got back together with his old mate Nick Cage in 2011. Now, I know you've seen that, Duff.
Yes, I have.
Tell me about it.
It's okay, man.
Yeah.
It's okay.
I actually think I
mean,
did watch it when it first came
It's
out. I
Nicolas
just can't
Cage,
remember.
like the era he's in now. You're only going to get okay.
Yeah. That
Like-
was, he had turned a corner by then, hadn't he?
Yeah,
He was doing the dumb
it's
shit.
okay.
Yeah.
It's-
So other than California at 49 on the Metacritic, every other movie he's done has scored 35 or under.
Yeah.
So a real mess, which probably explains the long stretches of time between movies and the fact that he's never really done much, or he hasn't done anything since Season of the Witch. That was probably his last chance. Jerry called him and said, "You got one more.
Don't fuck it up.
You got one more, Dom."
You'll be making video clips and
Yeah.
they've got a shelf life
Dom,
of about another 4
I know
years.
you're
What a career choice.
I know you're
It's
married
like
to my
opening a-
daughter, Dom. But this is your last chance.
I know you know some of my secrets.
The writer,
Yeah.
Scotty Rosenberg. Didn't know his name either until the research for the pod. I'd never heard of him. After reading what he had done, I think I kind of consider myself a Rosenberg fanboy. Yeah, because he's done some cool shit.
What has it done?
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Con Air.
Right.
Perfect.
So he wrote Con Air.
Oh,
Perfect.
Done. Career done.
Yeah, Hall of Fame. Love him.
A favourite of mine, Disturbing Behaviour.
Oh.
Nick Stahl with the rats.
I don't think
It's in a high school.
Yeah, doesn't
You would have seen it. You
Yeah,
would have
yeah,
seen it.
yeah,
It
yeah.
came out right around the same time as The Faculty.
Well,
They were almost you'd watch them as a double header on a date night. You guys wouldn't do that?
Nah.
It was just me on my own.
Josh Harnett's in
Harnett, yeah.
The Faculty. I need alone time.
Disturbing Behaviour was, this will make you remember it, James Marsden. Is it James Marsden? Is that his name?
Oh, yeah.
Good looking guy?
Yeah.
Black, thick hair?
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
remember it. Yeah.
He was, yeah.
Good looking guy.
It's got one of those cool scenes where they go into the high school and everyone's segregated by like, there's the nerds, there's the jocks, and they're all wearing the high school football. Yeah, I love those scenes.
School used to be like that when I was there.
Yeah. So, so I had one of those. Anyway, Disturbing Behaviour. He did High Fidelity.
Yeah.
He wrote
High
that,
Fidelity,
yeah.
wow.
which you'd be a fan of, BJ,
it's a good
being a
film.
music guy,
Yeah,
really
yeah.
good.
I actually think it's overrated, but it's still good.
Oh, wow.
it's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pain and Gain, he wrote.
Yeah.
I love Pen and Game.
Yeah.
It's a piece of shit, but I love it.
Yeah, it's good. He wrote. Has anyone here watched Zoo, the TV show?
No.
Very
Hang on.
guilty pleasure of mine. It's where all the animals get like infected and they become really smart.
Oh, yes. I
and
watched.
each episode is basically about a different animal and the way they're now hunting humans.
Yeah, I've seen 5 episodes and turned it off.
Sounds great.
It's very cheesy.
Yeah, man.
And it's very like TV.
Right.
But it's fun. If you just want to put something on late at night, it's all on Netflix. Check it out. It's not that old either.
Right.
The last
So
few
he did
years.
the screen for that.
He wrote 40-something
Yeah,
episodes. So
'cause-
he basically wrote the whole thing.
No, a guy
It's
wrote.
James Patterson, I think, wrote the book.
Yeah, it's a
yes,
book.
it's
yeah.
a book.
And
Yeah.
then he's expanded.
Um,
It's a 40 episodes.
it's 3 or 4 seasons.
Yeah. There's a lot of animals in
Yeah.
the zoo.
Have a look at it. It's really easy, light watching,
Yeah.
but it's fun.
When sentient animals attack.
Basically,
It's
yeah.
like Grey's Anatomy in the bush.
Yeah. Oh, it gets
It's
yeah.
not great.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a bit of drama between the cast and
Ah.
stuff, and
You
it's
might-
got this really dry, sarcastic asshole scientist,
Yeah.
and he's actually quite funny. Like the writing's really good, so that kind of keeps you interested because
Right.
he's the main guy in it. Anyway, so Zoo the TV show. He also wrote the Jumanji remakes, which I quite enjoyed. The first remake,
okay,
I didn't.
yeah.
I couldn't make it through the second one.
Whoa.
And I put this in here for you, Duff. He wrote Venom, the first Venom. Are you a Venom
Right.
guy? I know it's got a bit of a cult following.
No, not a huge.
You a Venom guy?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't actually watched it.
Yeah, but I'm not a. I wouldn't say I'm a Venom guy.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I really enjoyed it. Oh, Tom Hardy.
Yeah, but it's not in the normal Marvel ones, is it? It's like the
No,
Sony.
It's a Sony,
Yeah,
but it'll
yeah.
eventually be there. Yeah.
Are they going
Then I'll
to
probably
mash them
love it.
together? Are they?
Yeah, Sony. Yeah, I have
Okay.
to.
When there's only one corporation.
So yeah,
That's a
there will
podcast
be.
for another time.
They'll just be Disney. Yeah.
Mutant Chronicles.
And we'll be
that's
brought
coming
to you by Amazon.
Yeah.
And then there'll be one other corporation, Coca-Cola, that does all food and drink on the planet.
up. Yeah, have you seen Mutant Chronicles? It's like
That's another podcast.
it's not countries. It's bloody corporations own land, and it's like.
Oh, I got told not to watch that.
who told you that?
Is it good?
Beat them to death. Oh, I loved it.
Oh, okay. All right, I'll check
Thomas
it out.
Jane. Ooh,
Yeah, I'll have a look.
Classic.
I had a few people say it was awful. But, hey, man, I
hey,
trust you.
We'll find out in about 12 weeks' time, I reckon.
Actually, I didn't trust you with Wind Talkers, but I'm back on board now. I'll give Mutant Chronicles a go. I'll report back.
Yeah.
So the critics haven't been too kind to Scotty's work. He got a 79 for high fidelity.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, it's pretty grim. There's a few like 50s and that sort of stuff. As you'd expect after listing a few of those, like Pain and Gain, Con Air, like they're not critical movies. And he bottoms out with Kangaroo Jack. He wrote that as well.
Shit.
I've never seen it. I know the title.
I
cover of it.
have seen it. It's a pile of garbage.
Yeah, so you got that was 16, which is about as low as you get for a film.
It's actually not very kind to Australia and Australians from memory.
No.
It's a pretty
It wasn't very kind to Jerry O'Connell either.
So he's a bit of a xenophobic type of character.
We got the cast.
Yep.
Now it's a hell of a cast. It's a
Yeah.
big, thick, juicy cast of well-known people that I think are pretty well liked universally, and led by Nicolas Cage, which we've done a fair bit on him.
Yeah.
So I'll just kind of breeze through this, but please throw in your points.
Yep.
His overall career score, what do you reckon it might be? This is Nicolas Cage that's gone
He's
fucking
had one of the
crazy.
more uneven.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with 59.
I'm going to go with like 42.
Yeah, right in the middle. So it's 50,
That's good.
which I was really surprised.
Especially
Because I
recently.
thought, I thought he had done more kind of bad movies than what he has done quality movies. But then it's almost like you're right, as in Duff, because his career at the start, he was banging out massive scores. He was getting first time I've seen this after looking at Metacritic fucking 5 times a week for the last 2 months or whatever we've been doing this. He actually had 7 films above 80.
That's
wow.
Yeah,
That's
Leonardo
incredible.
DiCaprio doesn't have 7 films above 80. He also doesn't have 100 films like Nicolas Cage, but
everyone forgets Nicholas's early works.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah.
Above 80 is
Some
incredible.
of it would be fucking loved by critic.
So,
Fucking anal.
you know what his highest scoring movie is? And sorry, his highest scoring movie is actually a animated movie, which I didn't know he's in because I haven't seen it. No. It's I bet you're a fucking fanboy of this. Spider-Man, Spider-Verse.
Oh, Into the Spider-Verse.
Into the Spider-Verse.
Man,
Yeah.
fucking.
I don't know who he is in.
Oh,
that.
I do. He plays like a black and white Spider-Man. It's
Okay.
like a Spider-Man noir.
Okay.
Noir. Is that what it had?
Noir.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he steals a goddamn show on it.
Right. Okay. So that got 87.
Yeah, that's
his
massive.
highest scoring
Yeah,
movie.
they
But
love
I haven't seen it. But I have heard it's amazing.
Yeah, it's
I
pretty
just
great.
don't do animated. So I'm striking that from the record.
Yeah.
So after that, highest scoring film that he's been in, not animated,
Yeah.
is your favourite, Face Off, at 82.
Was that?
Face Off is 82.
Yeah, weirdly. But all the other ones like of that big four are like 50s. Well, this is 35, and then Con Air and The Rock are like 52 and 58 or something.
Yeah,
This is a
59.
fucking
And then
travesty.
Face Off is 82. I actually clicked on it. I was like, that can't be right.
wrong.
Because it's no better or worse than The Rock or Con Air.
That's when
I'd
everyone,
argue The Rock's
It's
probably
worse,
the
but-
critically the best one.
That's
out of
probably when everyone had a hard dick for John Woo, though. And went, oh, this is revolutionary.
Yeah,
it
true.
might be,
Yeah,
yeah,
true, yeah.
and it's cool to like John Woo because he's an international artist.
Yeah.
and,
It's
Action like my man.
and there was doves for some of it, wasn't there? Doves,
yeah,
there's
there's doves.
yeah.
So much symbology.
Um, So that's 82.
Right.
Which you'd, that was it. And then, how the big four ranked. I had, Face Off 82, The Rock 58, Con Air 52, and Gone in 60 Seconds 35.
Right.
So this was actually the worst of those, if you want to call them the big four.
Yeah.
Anything else on Nicolas Cage? You guys have any notes there you want
Yeah,
to bring
I
up?
had something.
Yeah, please.
In this movie, I find his acting is he a good actor?
Yeah.
Is he there?
Yeah. He's really good.
Does he play a character too much and it comes off as...
He overacts a little.
In this one, he's overacting. I noticed it.
Oh, I
the
thought he was
first
actually a
time.
bit understated. I don't know. Maybe
think,
sorry. His character, I think, in this is a bit understated, but
Yeah.
maybe he's overacting the character.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe. Okay.
I think it
I
could
didn't
be
notice
played
it. I was-
by anyone.
You're probably right.
Yeah.
Yeah. But they paid the big dollars
Yeah.
for Nicolas Cage, so people would go watch
And he
it.
was a name. So there's
Yeah.
a theory that his acting style is what he came up with for The Rock, right?
Yeah.
And he found his niche there because that was sort of like a counterpoint in his career where he's like went from being a bit more of a character actor to just playing
Yep.
the same character.
I'm going to go large.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Then he did Con Air and went, I'm going to change my life.
That's probably my favourite Nicolas Cage with the long hair.
Yeah.
Another thing bothered me in Con Air. I loved his hair. In this movie, I fucking hate it. It's like
It's weird.
It's like a
wispy,
dirty blonde.
Yeah,
and
but
it's
that was
really
a
wispy.
thing in year 2000,
It's
wasn't
like
it?
Cage and Angelina
Actually-
Jolie's hair.
If we
I
dig
can't
up a
handle
photo of you from 2001,
I still bald,
you
motherfucker.
you bleach tipped.
Yeah, I bleach tipped. I didn't fucking dirty blonde my hair.
You definitely had some Nick Cage hair.
It sounds like semantics.
Yeah, I think you did.
2000.
I'm going to find it and we'll post it on the social media.
Yes.
Yeah, I've got a couple of those photos, I reckon.
With Nicholas, I just wanted to give a shout out to two of my favourite performances from him. I
Yes.
like Kick Ass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really enjoyed
Great
that
in
movie. And the first time I ever saw him in anything was Raising Arizona,
Yeah, right.
Oh, yeah.
which is a really
Yeah.
good flick as well. So
I haven't seen that in a really long time.
it's
But
really
I remember
old
really
now.
enjoying
Yeah,
it.
it's great.
Yeah. And did you read that he's the nephew of...
Yeah, Francis Ford.
I stopped to make sure it wasn't one of your tidbits coming
No,
up.
I didn't read that at all.
Francis-
actually. I think I
Francis
maybe
Ford.
knew that.
Coppola,
Yeah.
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 He's his nephew, and he changed his name to Cage as a stage name so that he wouldn't be associated
Based
with
on the Mortal Kombat character.
Yeah.
Oh, is that what it is?
No, I made that up.
No, Luke Cage, after the
comic book.
guy. Yeah. So close.
Yeah, nice. So next on the list of stars, I had Angelina Jolie.
Yes.
I want to say a bizarre career.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Is she the biggest star in the world?
She was up
Or
there.
Not
is she not?
anymore. She
No, she's
was.
definitely not anymore. Was she?
She was.
Yeah, she
yeah.
was.
Okay, so when she was,
Yes.
name the movie when she was the biggest star in the world.
Okay.
Mr. and Mrs. Smith.
She got paid $20 million for Mr. and Mrs. Smith.
Did she?
Yeah.
She was only the third actress ever to get $20 million behind Julia
Julia
Roberts,
Roberts.
and Cameron Diaz.
Yeah.
Okay, shit.
Right.
Yeah,
But
she
also,
was big, man.
she was also one of these
Was
stars.
Mr. and Mrs. Smith, how many times you watched that?
What?
It's pretty
Mr. and Mrs. Smith.
Yeah, it's rewatchable.
Vince
Is
Vaughn's.
it? Is it rewatchable?
Yeah, yeah.
Classic
fun?
Vince Vaughn.
I like where your head
Always
is at.
going to watch a
Yeah.
movie
Okay.
with classic Vince
I
Vaughn.
do love Vince Vaughn.
Yeah.
All right,
Classic
I'll put it on my
So
list.
she
I'll
had-
give it another
She had
go.
Sway for sure. She was also the action go-to for a while there.
She had
Wanted?
Wanted. That was
Salt.
cool.
That was great.
Salt was good.
Yeah, they were both pretty decent flicks.
And,
Salt was much later on, though, wasn't it?
A little bit, yeah.
But you look at her dramas as well. They were pretty good.
But she was one of an era as well of fame that was not just the on-screen stuff. She was huge tabloid-wise, right? So she
Yeah,
was,
the Brad
she had
Pitt,
fame
the
beyond
Brangelina.
Yeah.
what was the before that? The vial of blood around
Yeah.
Billy Bob Thornton's
Thornton.
neck.
She was tabloid famous, and when she was with
So-
Brad Pitt, there was like they were all
Johnny
over. the place.
Miller.
So that's part of the 20 million salary, I'm guessing.
It's cachet.
Yeah.
She was born into the business. John Voight's her father. So
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's going to...
Yeah.
Anaconda.
We'll talk about that again.
Can't wait. Rush over.
So, if Nicolas Cage had 7 movies above 80 on the Metacritic,
Right.
how many does Angelina Jolie have in terms of her acting? Because she's had a couple of director roles.
Yeah, 2.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with 5.
I'm not going to make
Girl-
you name them.
Girl
Oh, sorry.
Interrupted.
Yeah.
Girl Interrupted, and
Taking Lives.
I can't think of a second one, but I reckon
What do you reckon? 5?
5.
0.
What? Over 50?
0. Over 80.
Oh, I didn't listen to the question.
It helps on a podcast to listen to the
1.
question being
I'm
asked.
going to go 1 then.
What's 0? I
Oh,
just
wow,
gave you
that's pretty close.
Right. So what is it? What's her highest score?
her highest movies I've not even seen.
Right.
Because they're animated.
Oh, my God.
So, Kung Fu Panda movies, apparently she's in them. 2,
Yep.
3, and
Yeah.
4, I think.
Yeah.
Or 1,
Yeah.
2, and 3.
She plays Tigress.
Okay. A Mighty Heart?
A Mighty Heart is with the guy from Mighty Ducks. Throwback. Putty Face, you called him.
Oh,
From...
yeah.
Yeah.
No, I said he was made out of
Oh,
putty.
okay. Maybe I took that as Putty Face.
Wrong insult.
So, A Mighty Heart,
Heart's
and then
good.
the Kung Fu movies. And then she's produced and directed, I believe, in a couple that were close to 80, but not there. Her 2 action movies that you mentioned, Wanted and Salt,
Yeah.
were actually 2 of her biggest movies for critically,
Yeah.
which is weird, right?
Yeah. I thought
Um,
that Hate Wanted.
Salt was 65 and Wanted was 64.
Yeah.
Wanted's
Which Mr. and
another-
Mrs. Smith was below those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wanted's another one of those visually ones.
Yeah,
where
yeah.
That was
critics
cool.
will go, yeah, that's,
Yeah, I-
that's
that
was
new,
cool.
that's
Fair.
The
different.
bending of the bullets,
I'm gonna
wasn't
love
it?
it. Yeah.
James McAvoy?
Yeah,
Yeah,
James
yeah.
McAvoy.
Yeah.
Have to go and watch that again, actually.
Yeah,
Chris
I
Pratt.
remember really liking
It
that.
is
Chris
pretty
Pratt's in it
Is
as
Chris
well.
Pratt in that?
Yeah, he's a workmate, work
Shit.
colleague.
There you go.
There you go. Little fun fact. Give it a watch.
My favourite of hers is not one that she was in. I'm a real sucker for Unbroken, the war movie.
I love that movie.
Yeah,
That's
fucking
really good.
You have never seen it?
No.
It's based on a true story about this. He's a sprinter and he wins like the gold medal at the Olympics,
Olympics.
and then he goes and fights in the war.
Right.
And he gets caught as a POW by the Japanese, I think
Yeah,
it
it's
is.
Japanese.
Yeah, and basically gets tortured and all this sort of stuff, but he will not be broken. And it's based. It's a real guy, and they show you like it's one of those ones where they show you like imagery of the real person
And he-
afterwards.
and he
It's
meets
very
the-
moving, and it's very well shot.
It's a capture
Yeah.
at the end, like, and
Check it out.
It's crazy.
Okay.
Check it out.
It doesn't sound like fun.
It's not
It's not as bad.
grim. It's not too bad. As in,
It's
it's
more
not,
of an uplifting story, to be honest.
Yeah,
It's
it
the
is.
funny kind of torture.
No. But it's not like they're pulling fingernails and stuff like that. It's more stamina torture. Put them in the hot box and that sort of shit.
Right.
Yeah, which is far more watchable than removing, appendage.
Yeah.
So, the other one I wanted to shout out was Hackers.
Yes.
Yeah, she's in that. I love that.
Johnny, that's where she met Johnny Lee Miller. So I
Johnny
tried-
Lee Miller, isn't that her
Johnny
brother?
Lee Miller, yeah.
No. Her
What,
brother,
is
the
that-
one she made out with on the red carpet.
Yeah.
He's not famous. But Hackers not aged well.
I bet. Yeah, I wouldn't watch it
yeah.
again. I wouldn't want to ruin the nostalgia.
I'm plugging into the mainframe, and they're like on a computer the size of a room. Yeah, I don't think it's pre-internet. I don't
very
know.
good. So she had 18 movies below 50, so we could actually end up seeing her again.
Yeah, we will.
It's a lot of movies below
We
50.
definitely will. Yeah.
Okay, you're calling it.
Yeah.
You got one in mind. Don't say it, but yeah,
maybe.
obviously been thinking. Next on the list was Giovanni Ribisi.
Boom.
Duff.
Yeah.
Go on, man. I know you love Giovanni.
I fucking love Giovanni.
Love
I
Giovanni.
love Giovanni.
Is he one of the greatest character actors of our time?
He's in the same mild frame for me as William H. Macy, Steve Buscemi. He looks fucking weird.
Philip Seymour Hoffman?
Yes, thank
Yeah.
you.
Philip Seymour Hoffman's too high.
He's on a level above.
Not,
He's the best character
he
actor
is
of our time.
a
Yeah.
different
Oh,
Jared Leto.
Sorry, you've forgotten about... Well, Jared, you're forgetting about Ben Foster.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, Ben
Yeah,
Foster.
thank you.
Yeah, Daniel Day-Lewis, I guess.
Yeah, but Giovanni's one of those great co-stars.
Yeah.
Great
yeah.
co-stars. Perfect co-stars.
Yeah.
Can he run a movie? I don't think anymore.
Not
Don't think he
I
would
don't
ever
think
want
he's
to.
ever
I think I did a quick flick through, and there's been one or two where he's the main character.
Was he the main guy in Boiler Room?
Yeah, I think that's one of
Yeah.
them. He's
Yeah.
one of the co-headliners at least.
He's got his own TV show now, which is okay.
Yeah.
It's just a stock standard TV show.
Oh,
but he's the main person.
Yeah.
in the
Late
long
night
shot.
with Giovanni Ribisi.
No,
it's,
he plays like
a hitman or something?
No. He plays a con man.
Oh, yeah.
He plays that slightly off-kilter type of character really, really well, and he's just charismatic enough. Because his character in this movie is an asshole, right?
Yeah.
For the most part.
Yeah,
He's
he's a
a
fuck
spoiled
up.
brat.
He's just like, he's a spoiled brat.
Like he blames Nicolas Cage
Yeah.
for leaving.
Yeah.
Then my boy Will Patton.
So
masterclass.
believable.
Yeah.
You watch this and watch Giovanni Ribisi in this,
Yeah.
and you think, oh, it's just a simple part. Anyone could have probably played that. Cool. Then go and watch Flight of the Phoenix.
I've got that on the list.
Yeah, go and watch that afterwards, and then you kind of get a feel for what Giovanni Ribisi is capable of.
Anything.
Yeah.
Anything.
Another movie featuring Massive Attack's Angel.
He's really incredible. So he's actually got some really high-scoring movies.
Yeah.
He's not going to be the main guy in these films, but Saving Private Ryan is in that. He's at 91.
Yeah.
Lost in Translation, which I don't even remember him in that.
No.
I've only ever watched it once,
Yeah,
but
same.
that got 89. And Avatar's sitting at 83, which he's actually signed. Wait for this. He's already signed on through my Googling for the next 4 Avatar movies.
He plays
as well,
the
Up
tree.
until 2028 or whatever. So he's basically can just retire and just pop up once every couple of years for
Fucking keep getting them checks
couple
for
of months.
Ribisi.
Yeah.
He's not
no
even
shit.
acting in him.
He deserves
he's a
those
key grip.
checks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a key grip.
He's a key grip in
Key
those.
grip,
Yeah.
yeah.
He's
He
pretty
do-
good in
he
Avatar.
can do anything.
Once again, he's playing a completely different guy in
Yeah.
Avatar, and he's very believable in what he's doing.
He's a
and
good
you don't-
actor.
Yeah, he's really good, man. Yeah.
I remember him from the X-Files. He was in one episode of
Yeah.
the X-Files and made a real big impact in that
What does
one.
he do?
And
What is he
Friends.
in the X Files? What's that episode? Is that like the Shark Boy one?
Nah, that's... No, yeah, Shark Boy.
Yeah.
Is that it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wish I had written that down so I was more sure of mate.
That's okay. I also had a note with him. I reckon he's like a real actor's actor.
Yeah.
So if someone says, like, if you're trying to get Nicolas Cage to be in a movie and Nicolas Cage reads that Giovanni Ribisi's in it,
Yeah.
they go, oh, yeah, fuck, I'm in.
Yeah.
These two were so believable as brothers.
They
I
were.
would actually.
Yeah. Well,
If I didn't know who they were, I'd be like, oh, they are brothers.
in my research, a few of the cast actually spoke about that they started ad-libbing a lot of their dialogue.
Yeah.
And some of those scenes, like just where he's making breakfast for him or whatever, actually ended up going for like 15 minutes.
Right.
And those two would just start naturally doing their characters.
Yeah.
And they were so involved that they just kind of didn't realise they went for 15 minutes.
I heard they were
Yeah.
so method that Mrs. Cage, Nick's mum, actually legally adopted him for the period of the
Is that
movie.
right?
Yeah. So they
Useful.
they were really committed.
So,
Now we're like a family now, man.
any other thoughts
my
on
Geo.
Geo?
No, man.
No,
Very
just-
good.
I just like
Other
it.
than
He's
I'm
very good.
excited to see what he's doing next because I'll
Yeah.
watch it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cool. So there is a huge cast, so I'm going to kind of breeze over the rest of them because
crazy.
we could be here all night.
Yep.
When I breeze over these, it doesn't mean I'm discrediting them in any way because they're all worthy of 10 minutes. But Robert Duvall is in this. He plays Nick Cage's mentor.
Yeah,
Very good.
I love it when highly respected actors just pop in and
I'm having a bit of
kind
fun.
of slum it.
Yeah.
In like
I'm
an
having
action
a bit
movie.
of fun.
He's done it in this and Jack Reacher.
Yeah.
And he's been really great both times.
Yeah.
gonna have-
I mean, he's got 3 movies, 3 absolute bang. He's got Falling Down, Apocalypse Now, and The Godfather on his CV.
Yes. You don't really have to do anything else after
Nah,
that.
you're done.
And you
You're
didn't
done.
mention Open Range with Kevin Costner as well, which I brought that up before. I'm
Did
going
you
to make you
mention
watch that.
I haven't seen
The
it.
Judge as well.
Oh, he's quite good in that too, isn't he? Robert
so
Downey
well.
Jr.
He's good in everything,
Yeah.
but they're
Yeah, Duke can act, but
they're
he
significant
he's-
movies.
He just slumps
Just
it.
looking for a
That's
bit
what
of
this
fun.
is. Yeah, he
Yeah.
just wants to be
I haven't
in a
made
big-
a movie of Nick, have I?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I'll do that.
I'll pop in a big
Is
block.
Giovanni's in this movie?
yeah, that's probably why he did it. He saw Giovanni. So the other one I had there was Vinnie Jones.
Oh, yeah.
He's just
The
Vinnie Jones.
stinks,
in
man.
everything.
Loved it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
His
he's
entrance.
a terrible actor, but
His
Yeah.
entrance is so good. I love
Is
it.
his run over yet, or is he still popping up? Is there Mean Machine 8 out yet, or
I don't know.
is he still popping up?
No, I think he's done. Like,
Right.
Is Guy
Being
Ritchie still
he's
making
being
movies?
C-grade movies by now. I don't
He's
think
not-
even Guy Ritchie touches him anymore.
I think he was just he
Pretty
did-
old now as well, I guess.
Yeah.
It would have been late
Close to-
30s when he
close
did
to
Lock,
60.
Stock and Snatch.
He was
and then
retired
did
as a
stuff.
footballer, wasn't he? So what's that, 45?
He was an arsehole footballer. So
Everyone knew his story, yeah.
Yeah.
He was kind of a cult figure. You all knew.
yeah.
He was like Danny Trejo. Yeah, this guy actually served 10 years in prison. Vinnie Jones this guy was a football hooligan. Or
He
a
actually
football
did-
player that was a...
he actually did kick people.
Yeah. So I had Delroy Lindo, who we already covered off, friend of the pod. Just plays it beautifully.
Yeah.
Perfect again.
Perfectly cast.
I had Chris Eccleston. He's the British. He plays what's his name? Calantry.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
He was okay for me.
He's ramping it up.
He's definitely ramping it up.
Yeah.
He's pretty good.
Yeah.
I actually love him as the villain sergeant in 28 Days Later.
Oh, man, I love that.
Remember he's at the end of the back half of that movie where
Yeah.
it kind of takes a different turn.
Yeah.
And he's
Yeah.
fucking crazed and he's getting all weird with the girls that they capture and so he's always fun. I had here, is it Scott Caan or Scott Speedsman in this movie?
Scott Caan, brother.
It's the same fucking guy, isn't it?
No.
No? Different guys?
Scott Caan's a
So which
legend.
one was in Into the Blue?
Scott Kane.
Is that Scott Caan as well?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Which one's in the vampire movies?
Scott
Underworld.
Speedman.
That's
Speedman.
Scott Speedman.
Yeah.
I reckon they're the same guy.
No, they're not.
Okay.
So I
Very similarly built.
They are. I've never noticed it before.
Both
but
like, They both look like boxers. as
He's
they
only
say in the movie.
5'5", Scott Caan.
Okay.
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
tiny.
a little fella.
A little fella,
Yeah,
yeah.
little fella. I've got some notes on Scott Caan because
Go
one
on.
thing I remember when I saw him straight away was, did you know that he had a bit of a hip hop career in the early 90s?
Did not know that.
So he was in a 2-man group called the Hooligans, and that's WHOOLIGANZ. Hooligans.
That is a mess.
Like,
but suitable for the time.
Yeah. His hip hop name was Mad Skills.
With a Z,
With a
obviously.
Z,
Yeah, cool.
And they had a minor hit in the early 90s with Put Your Hands Up, right?
Can you do it for us now? I don't remember it.
I
have no idea
listened
what
to
you're
it before.
Yeah.
Good. We need to drop it in because it's actually
Okay,
not too
all
bad.
right, I'll pop it in here.
Put your hands up, put 'em up, stick 'em up. Put your hands up, put 'em up, stick 'em up. Put your hands up, put 'em up, stick 'em up. Run your pockets, you can't run quicker now. Put your hands up, reach for the sky on the field with the hooligan skill. I got mad style, I give a wow on the DL with the low profile. Swing as I just do my thing. Tipped out the clouds when the bell rang. Don't got a gang, but I got my crew. What you wanna do? If you wanna step to the hooligan, step aside as I kick it. Want a piece of the skills, here's the ticket. I think I'm going mad, wanna be bad with the rough time I had. Pants are sagging, everyone's bragging, but I got loot if you think I'm lagging. Gotta stand up when I rub with the fight, cut, reach for the sky and put your hands up. Put your hands up, put 'em up, stick 'em up. Put your hands up, put 'em up.
They were signed to Tommy Boy Records, which was
Chris Farley?
No, it was like there's a certain Tommy Boy sound of this era, and this is my jam back in the day as well.
Yeah.
So they were noticed by Be Real from Cypress Hill,
Yeah.
who were Tommy Boy, I think at the time, and brought into the Soul Assassins, which was Cypress Hill's kind of crew for touring with like House of Pain,
Yeah.
Funk Dubious.
I was going to say that I'm kind of picturing House of Pain here. Like
there's
when
such
you
a House of Pain vibe
Yeah,
with it.
okay.
Like you put it on, and like if you said you didn't tell me any introduction whatsoever, and you put it on and you said, "What is this?" I'd go, This is a couple of white guys from the early 90s.
Yeah, okay.
And they're probably on Tommy Boy.
Yeah, wicked.
Because it's got that.
All
but
right.
it is not embarrassing. It's not cringe. Like, it's actually not,
shit.
it's actually not bad.
Okay.
Yeah. I might just be saying that because that's my. I love that, put on Jump Around.
Yeah, it's good music.
I'm of that era.
Yeah.
And his partner in that was a guy who's now known as DJ Alchemist, who was taught the turntables by DJ Muggs from Cypress Hill on tour, and he's now a really well-regarded hip-hop producer.
Yeah, I know the name.
Yeah,
DJ,
he's just called Alchemist, not DJ. Yeah, obviously he's James Caan's son, so he's got the pedigree.
Yep.
Pedigree, and there's lots of
looks a lot like him as well.
Oh yeah,
same,
he's carrying
same
the jaw.
muscly head. Yeah. He's got a very muscly head, doesn't he?
He got the Caan jaw.
And finally, I had the lovable Will Patton, which yeah, I didn't actually check his Metacritic score.
You should.
Well, the reason I didn't, because this is actually part of my fun facts. Did you guys know that Will Patton has actually been in every single movie since 1986 till now?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did know that.
Yeah. So I didn't look at his Metacritic because he has 8,000 titles.
He likes to work.
I love Will Patton.
He's in a lot.
Yeah.
And he's always the same sort of guy.
Exact
Yeah.
same
Because he
character.
has doesn't he have the kindest face you've ever
So
seen?
he used to be a coach in an American football college team, and I went,
Really?
nah, it's not life for me. I'm going to become a criminal. And this is him in Gone in 60 Seconds. So he was in Remember the Titans, and he plays the exact same
Oh, sorry, I'm with you now.
as a
You're doing
criminal
a bit.
and as a coach.
Yeah, right.
They are the exact same
They are,
character.
yeah. I actually wrote here he plays himself once again. Yeah. Nothing wrong with that.
Love it.
Yeah. If you're that likable, then why not play yourself?
I thought Chi McBride was beautiful in this.
Yeah.
Just as the mouth of the old crew.
Yep.
Just as a bit of comic relief, and he knows what he's doing. But the throwback with the Chinese girl.
The little callback joke.
Oh, man.
Yeah,
Just
that
her
was good.
struggling to get the written test done as well.
Yeah, he was good.
And I thought he was the mouth of the old group.
Yeah, there was some
Yeah, he was an
reasonable
old head.
there was some reasonable little comedy writing in this, wasn't
Yeah,
there?
there was a couple of
They didn't
quick
try
ones,
too
right?
hard, and they didn't
Yeah.
try and what do we call it? Shoehorn.
Yeah.
In too many jokes, they just let it flow, and it just worked. And
Yeah.
cool. That's the cast done. We're into fun facts, baby. Did you guys know there was 7 replicas of Eleanor were made for this movie?
Let me see if I can guess the rest. Nah, you haven't.
5 of them were destroyed in stunts, and the other 2, one of them still owned by Nicolas Cage, and one of them's owned by Jerry Bruckheimer. Apparently, Nicolas Cage still takes his out for joyrides.
Yeah.
Bruckheimer's too afraid to drive his. So it says. Yeah. Very cool. Very cool little fun fact.
Yeah, apparently, demand for those cars went through the roof. It's
Oh, I
car
bet
porn,
it
right?
did.
I'm not a car
Just
guy.
Eleanor.
Oh, but it's I'm not a
Right,
car
it's
guy
car
either, but
porn.
I want to drive one
Yeah,
of those.
yeah.
Out of all the cars in the movie, I want to drive that.
Yeah, I just
Yeah.
realised 2000, I didn't have my driver's license when this came out, so
I would have just got it. I would have been driving a Mitsubishi Magna. Yeah.
I got my driver's license when I was 28 years old.
Oh, okay. You sure you want that on the pod? That's embarrassing.
Yeah, no, I'm not ashamed of it.
Okay, you should be.
What has your carbon footprint?
Probably larger than yours.
Yeah, I'll see you in Smoky Hill.
The other fun fact I've got, Nick Cage did the vast majority of his own stunt driving. We already touched on that. Very cool.
That's very impressive.
Scott Rosenberg, the writer, had some disagreements with the director and eventually actually left the film. J.J. Abrams then came in and did an uncredited rewrite.
Yeah.
Very cool.
That's great.
Yeah, I didn't even know J.J. Abrams was a thing in the year 2000.
I don't think he was.
I thought it was fairly new.
He was on
Yeah.
the come up.
Yeah. The title of the movie, Gone in 60 Seconds, in Greece, actually translated to Come in 60 Seconds. Timothy Olyphant. Now, this is the fucking wildest fun fact we're ever going to get on this podcast.
The best decision of his career.
Preparing my body.
You ready?
Mm-hmm.
Timothy Olyphant was the studio's first choice to play Dom Toretto in the Fast and Furious franchise, but he turned it down because it was too similarly themed to this movie. So Fast and Furious would have come out just after this. So I assume they've wrapped on this, and before it's out, they've gone, we want you to be Dom Toretto. Because I'm pretty sure Fast and Furious was 2000 or 2001, maybe.
Yeah.
It was 2001.
And
So
he's like, what's it about? And they're like, cars going back.
yeah, and he's just gone, nah.
Done it.
It was basically the same thing.
Done it.
Yeah.
I think it's a good decision.
That is fucking sliding doors, man.
Yeah.
Because that whole Fast and Furious franchise, and I'm not having anything against Timothy Olyphant here, but that doesn't do what it's done if Vin Diesel's not in it.
Yeah.
Period.
I don't think Timmy does more than 2.
No, well, I don't think it lasts more than 2.
Yeah.
It lasted because of the chemistry between Paul Walker and Dom Toretto and Vin Diesel.
Yeah.
Didn't it?
Yeah. Rip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got to remember, I'm not a fan of Fast and
Oh,
Furious.
okay, yeah,
It's
yeah.
still Brazil.
Well, it's still going. Yeah. That's huge. Though.
Yeah, that's a casting
Imagine
order.
if they don't get. Imagine if they don't get Vin Diesel for that.
Yeah.
I think he
Fucking
still finds a way.
Weird, different movie. Oh, Vin Diesel does.
He finds a way.
Vin Diesel does, but the Fast
he was already
franchise
pretty-
does not.
But
Yeah.
the franchise doesn't exist.
No, it does not.
Timmy's not the kind of
It
guy who
probably
goes,
ends
I'll do
after-
12 of these movies.
Yeah.
yeah, he doesn't do that.
He's the kind of guy that says, no, this has got cars in it, I'm not doing it.
yeah.
He didn't do
And-
anything with a car in it until 2005.
Is that right?
Yeah, just Amish movies.
Way different vibe if it's Timothy Olyphant instead of Vin Diesel. It's
grittier.
like those movies. Is it?
Yeah.
Timothy Olyphant's kind of more of a comedian.
What the fuck?
He can be gritty.
No,
Yeah.
right. No
man.
way.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
Does he? I suppose he does
Justified,
that
the
for
TV show Justified.
Yeah, but
Wow.
he's still kind of like
Not a comedian.
Cracking
he's still kind of
wise.
smug in that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, he's got a
definitely
smug
arrogant.
face.
Yeah, he's smug.
He's got a smug face.
He can do comedy. But, yeah,
Well,
He's
I don't
got
think-
range.
all right. That's all I had for fun facts.
I'd
Give it to me, either of you.
So my final thoughts is actually my points, where I score everything out of scenes out of a 5, actors out of a 5, and things that make me excited.
Got a
So
theme song now.
I
the
like
first
this.
thing
It's a
is
thing.
Just Cause. No, I'm not doing it.
I did it.
For me, for me,
Yes.
Vinnie Jones' intro,
Yeah.
I loved it. It's just old 90s bullshit, and I loved it. I
Yeah.
gave that a 3.
Yeah. Cool.
The Eleanor, the whole last half an hour, 5. Had to do
Like
that.
their car chase.
Yeah,
Like the big
I had-
stunt. Yep.
I had all the cast, like all the side cast,
Yeah.
all the crew. I gave them a 5. It was
Yeah,
a,
yeah.
It was a perfect dynamic of the
Meaty
old and
cast.
young. Really
Yep.
loved it. Lost points for Nick Cage and Angelina's hair, so I gave that negative 2.
Yeah, I'm with you.
The wispy blonde.
The two cops, Timmy and Delroy, I gave them a 3. I thought they were just fantastic.
Yep.
I'm not a big car guy, but I understand these cars are quite nice.
Yeah.
Quite good. I'd like to have one on a Sunday. I gave that a 4.
Yeah.
And then the main actors got Nick Cage 3. Angelina, as you just touched on, I don't think she did much.
Nah.
I gave her a 1.
She was definitely in it.
Yeah.
She was in it. She's on the front cover, but
Yeah.
maybe she's the ice cold. And Giovanni gave him a 3 because it's Giovanni and I love him. The montage of when they get the crew together,
Yeah.
I loved it.
Yeah.
I loved
love
every
montage.
single thing about it. Like they're dead, one person's having
Yeah, I love the
sex,
fact that he was dead.
and then the other person's asking about the dead. It's just beautiful for me. It's a whole vibe.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I gave that a 10.
Right.
Oh, you do love a montage as much as me.
The bad guy, I gave a 2. I just thought, was he good? Yes.
Yeah, he was good.
But he wasn't given much. So
This guy
the
scares
acting's
even
not-
me, man.
The acting's not 2. That's why I called him the bad guy.
Yeah.
It's a character.
Yeah.
So I'm giving the character 2.
Yeah.
The scene with the heroine and the cop coming
Yeah,
in,
it's a good
Delroy
scene.
coming in, blowing all the smoke.
Great scene.
stuff
Remake.
away.
That's from the original.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah,
did
that's
that.
a shout out. That's
Gave
a
that a-
homage.
Gave that a 3.
Yeah.
And when they first start the heist and that song's playing, and then he goes, "Let's ride."
Yeah.
I love that bit. You can just see the old crew just like getting pumped up, and the young crew going, "What the fuck?" is
Yeah, what's
happening
going
here?"
on? Yeah, yeah.
So I love that.
Donnie, Loretta.
All my friends know the low rider. The low rider is a little higher.
Okay, let's ride.
The other thing I really liked was, "Hi, I'm Roger. I'm Roger too." At the car
yeah, the car,
retailership,
yeah,
I
yeah.
loved it. As a
He did that
sleazy guy, he sleazed right back at him.
My name's Roger, sir. May I be of some help?
That's funny. My name's Roger. 2 Rogers don't make a right.
So that gives my score of 56.
Shit.
Yeah, it all adds up. But I have to add in memories.
I'm glad there's Bart because that was way lower than where I thought you were going
to
be.
add in a lot of
I'm
memories.
shocked.
Yeah, same.
I've seen this movie a lot. I knew exactly what was going to happen. So every movie has a expiry date, yeah?
Yeah.
You've seen it so many times. You know what's happening.
Yeah.
You know what's about to be said.
Good way of putting it.
So for me, it's expired. I've seen it a lot of times.
Best before.
And if I put this with Nicolas Cage's top 3, it's not there. So for me, I gave it...
So those other 3 haven't expired yet?
No,
they never will.
Again.
There's no expiry.
No, this one has an expiry date, unfortunately.
Okay.
The Fast and Furious may have something to do with that.
Yeah.
It's just expired for me. I knew everything that was about to happen before it happened.
Yeah.
So for memories, I gave it a 10, which gives it a grand score of 66 for me.
Okay.
So I've redeemed it. But I thought I would redeem it a lot higher than that.
Yeah, so did I.
66 is it.
Right.
Bang.
I
Take a breath.
enjoyed it. Like I went into it knowing what I was getting into, which helps. There was no misdirect with some credits or something that threw me for a loop, like there has been on past episodes. It was very much of its era. Like it was a time capsule of the early 2000s. The fashion, the whole thing, the way it was slightly camp and really sort of exaggerated in certain ways. The soundtrack.
Yeah.
So you had like Moby, Groove Armada, the Chemical Brothers, Apollo 440. Like they were like can't stop the rock. You know? It was like
bringing it all back.
It was a time capsule. It really was. It was like.
Are you saying it was some sort of hot tub time machine?
Got it in. You got it in.
I'm actually no. But anyway, and then there was a couple of actual good songs on the soundtrack as well. DMX, Chains Addiction.
Yeah. Do you know what the opening song is? And
no,
it
was really cool.
Yeah,
I thought it was really cool, but it went quite a while. I was like, this is a cool way to do the intro, and then I was like, right.
I don't know what that song is, but every time I've heard it in my life since, I think of this movie.
Yeah. I think the performances, like considering the performances were passable and carried it okay. I think when you look at the credentials of the people on paper, you probably expect something a bit more, but they also knew what they were doing, I reckon.
Yeah.
Probably they saw it as Bruckheimer and just went, it's just going to be fun. So it was decently paced and it had a decent arc to it. So I enjoyed it. I don't think I ever need to watch it again.
Okay.
I'm happy enough with that.
Yeah.
And I did have a few issues with some of the plot and some of the over-the-topness, so I'm going to actually give it 59.
Cool. Take a 59.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fair and reasonable.
Yeah.
I definitely got a bit excited watching it again and again, and I was like, straight away, this might be my first 100.
He's going to raise the bat.
Yeah. It's like it's a quintessential action movie from that time. I think you just nailed it with the time capsule thing.
Yeah, it really is, yeah.
And I don't think like Duff said, I don't think it's as good as the other 3. As Face-Off, those just had way more depth to them, way more depth to everything about them.
Subjectively, not.
Yes, but as a 2-hour action movie that you want to sit down and you just want to watch 2 hours of an action movie, I think you can almost not fault this.
Yeah.
Yeah. The little things that you pointed out, like definitely I've taken note of.
Yeah.
But as just I want to shut down. I want to see some fucking cars bang together. I want to see a big cast of people that I like.
Yep.
With some cool lines, some cool dialogue, some cool cars. All of that shit really works well.
Just a layer of cheese.
It really is, yeah. Layer of cheese on top of the spaghetti bolognese.
Yeah.
It's a delicious meal, and then you melt some cheese on there, and you got yourself a dream.
It smells like old socks. Taste
yeah. So the other reason I am going to give this a very high score, and I already touched on it, is I'm not going to get all worked up again, but the banging together of cars, I'm using that as an analogy for stunts. Like, they just don't do it anymore.
Yeah.
And this film
really
did
good
it,
point.
and this film did it so well.
Yeah.
And that's why I can, Duff says this has got an expiry. It doesn't for me. A more modern film with if it was Fast and Furious 7, that's already expired for me, even though I'm a huge Fast and Furious franchise guy.
Yeah.
But this movie won't, because I can still get enjoyment out of and appreciation out of watching that shit. Like a proper stunt, how they used to make movies.
Yeah.
So I'll keep revisiting this. As I said, I did have a really high score written down. I'm gonna go backwards a little bit. So I want to give this 80. It's a big movie for me.
Congratulations, Nick Cage. You've got 8 movies.
8 movies above 80. Yeah.
There
we go.
Only ladder that counts.
That was awesome. I really enjoyed that one.
Yeah.
Just a big cast. It was always going to go a bit longer. So thanks for staying with us if you have got to this point. Before we wrap it up, the most exciting thing of the pod, other than the critic reviews, is what is next week's movie, Paul Duff?
As you know, Ken, and our viewers or listeners, would you call them?
Listeners.
Yeah, they don't know.
For now, we're going to YouTube soon.
Yeah,
and they'll
really?
review it. Yeah, no.
Oh.
Yeah, I'll need 6 to 8 months to prepare my body.
We all have faces and bodies for podcasting.
See it
Correct.
for camp.
So we're going on break over Christmas, yeah?
Yeah.
Because, like, we have to spend time with a family. We don't want to. It's more of a have to type deal.
I'll just watch movies the whole
Yeah,
time.
me too.
Yeah.
I'm going to go big on the last episode of the year. I'm going to go big.
I like that. I like where this is going.
I'm going to go Arnold Schwarzenegger's bigger than Jesse Ventura's fucking arms. I'm going to go, ladies and gentlemen.
Say it.
If it bleeds, we can kill it.
Shit.
Predator, the original Predator. Woo. Pumped.
I've been waiting for someone to
about-
do
Yeah,
this.
it's my top 10 movies of all time.
Top
It's
10. Top 2 movies, I thought.
Top 2. I don't want to give it away. Save it for the pod, Ben.
I was going to save it for the 100th episode.
What? Well, this is a...
But now we've realised we're only probably doing 10. So let's
So second last. Let's get it in.
That was a good time.
So, yeah, I'm going Predator. I'm pretty pumped. And,
unreal, man.
I'm going to be really aggressive.
You know
I
why
imagine.
I'm so thankful you've chosen Predator?
Yeah.
Because I just want to fucking watch it again.
Yeah.
I want to watch it again right now.
Yeah. I could reenact the whole scene for you.
Do it. No, don't. Save it for the pod. All right. That's awesome. Check us out on our socials. We're going to get a few new things going on there very shortly. It's the Redeemables Podcast on Instagram, the Redeemables Podcast on Facebook, the Redeemables Pod on Twitter, which that's just starting to get up and running now. And email in at, we'll put it on the socials. I can't remember the email address. But yeah, please email in any thoughts, comments.
Any questions.
Any questions are good, or suggestions, or if you wanted your opinion of last week's movie read out, then we're happy to do it. So email in. If you want to nail something to the cross that we all redeemed, or vice versa, please let us know, because we want to hear back and we want to get that shit out here as well.
Let your voice be heard.
Yeah, please do. That's all I got.
Yep.
You guys cool?
Yeah, done.
Good.
Cooked.
Wicked.
All right.
See you next week.
Bye.
Green Sally up, a green Sally down. Last done start, gotta tell the ground. Green Sally up, a green Sally down. Last done start, gotta tell the ground. Green Sally up, a green Sally down. Last done start, gotta tell the ground. Green Sally up, a green Sally down. Last done start, gotta tell the ground. Green Sally up, a green Sally down. Last done start, gotta tell the ground. Green Sally up, a green Sally down. Last done start, gotta tell the ground. Oh, Miss Lucy dead and gone, left me